Patriotism very much in fashion at the USGP. With more on this start controversy, here's Art Ekman.
6 inches of rain in 3 days have made the gates lower. The riders almost create a ramp to take off. 3 riders jumped the gate anticipating this start. It took a half lap for the politics to clear. Arguments followed in 4 languages. No penalties as we're ready to go for the second moto.
Gate is down and up the hill they go, and Art Ekman gets thoroughly roosted by none other than the world champion. Bit of a tangle at the top of the hill, and involved in that is Marnique Vervoets, and he's not happy. The other guy, Michele Fontan, was one of those who jumped the gate on the first start. Here is Albertine out front, and in hot pursuit comes number 8, Talon Volan, who had the whole shot the first time out. Andrea Bartolini is number 79 of Italy. Look quick, because he probably won't stay up there very long. Jeff Stanton has a good start. He is 4th. And riding in 5th spot is number 2, Stefan Everts. Everts with another great opportunity here as the traffic jam continues in the back. You don't want to be back there. You want to be up here with Albertine.
Yeah, so you can see it's a big advantage to get out there in the top 5 or 10 and eliminate those tight corners in the beginning. Just create a traffic jam and lets the leaders get so far ahead in just 1 lap.
Stanton made a terrific move on Volan, tried to move him out of the way. Volan stood his ground, holds on to 2nd spot. But Jeff Stanton, involved in that first turn tangle in the first moto, is up to 3rd. Greg Albertine, the world champ, finds his form in moto number 2 and has a terrific start. He struggled in that first moto. I love the bare forearms. You know, it reminds me of the tough guys of old.
Yeah, I'm getting a kick out of these short sleeves. You know, a lot of guys started doing that because they didn't like the cuff so tight on their forearm. And a lot of these guys, you hear them talk about arm pump. And just to try to, you know, alleviate any of that, they just loosen up the sleeves and finally just cut them off.
Albertine says, hey, it works great. Real men don't need sleeves. He leads the World Championship and leads the second moto. He lost a lot of points to his championship challenger, Stefan Everts, in that first moto. In Moto 2, run him down. It's Albertine and then Volan. There is Stanton. Here comes Everts in 4th. Bertolini holds on to the 5th spot. And then came number 48. That was Steve Lamson with a good solid 6th place. Here's DeMaria trying to catch up. He ran 5th in the first moto, but he has not gotten a great start. And you also see number 64, John Dowd, not having as much success in moto number 2 as he did in moto number 1. It's important, I think, to point out that it's 2 separate races here, and each... Whoa, wait a minute. We've got a problem for Albertine. Greg Albertine was stopped at the apex of that corner and has fallen from 1st to 8th on the racetrack. A terrible break for the World Championship point leader. Albertine apparently ran it in there and killed the engine, and by the time he got it cranked up, half the field had gone by.
Well, here's going to be another look at it. He's already stalled in the berm. I think you're right, Dave. He just got in there and a little too hot, possibly a gear high, and stalled it. And, boy, you know, early in the race when you make these mistakes, everybody's still bunched up like that. You drop a lot of positions.
And check this out. Talon Volan, the American, now living and racing in Europe, will take the lead. And behind him, number 2, Stefan Everts, has got to be saying, way cool. I love this. The man he has to beat for the championship has dropped 5 positions behind him on the racetrack. Volan under a lot of pressure from Jeff Stanton. Stanton took a shot at him earlier when they were racing for 2nd and 3rd. I'll bet he'll take another shot for the lead.
Yeah, he's putting a lot of pressure on him right now, trying different lines and make Talon a little bit nervous. And, you know, it's an opportunity for him to prove what he can do out here. I mean, the first moto was a disaster for him right off the bat. And, you know, since this race doesn't count for a whole lot other than just the race itself, it's not such a big deal that he had a poor first moto performance. If he can win the second moto, it'll salvage something for him for the day.
And again, we should make the point that it is 2 separate races, each paying points for the World Championship. The guy who scores the most points wins the overall, but the overall is secondary to the world title points.
Definitely, and you know, Stanton's got a lot of company here from Everts. Everts is pushing him pretty hard, and I don't know, Stanton must have just made a little bobble there. What he's got to do is focus on the leader, though, not worry about Stefan, and keep moving forward.
Jeff Stanton won the 250 USGP 3 years running at Unadilla Valley Sports Center in upstate New York. The race moved here last year, and Stefan Everts, number 2, was the champion of that event. So the men who have won the last 4 GPs in America currently race for 2nd and 3rd behind Talon Boland, who has opened up a bit of gap on those two, and I don't think Jeff Stanton's paying attention to your advice. I think he's racing the guy behind him instead of the guy in front of him.
Well, that's the problem. He's having to be more defensive now, and these guys are racing each other, and it's allowing Boland to get away.
Jeff Stanton, ooh, bobble right there, missed the berm, jumped over to the second berm, and by on the inside goes Everett. Stefan Everett continues his incredible performance.
Well, as Jeff comes into the corner right here, everything's looking good. He goes for the inside rut. And looks like he just gets on the gas a little early. It stands the bike up, and he's not leaned into the corner still, and he overshoots the rut, and Stefan rides right by.
An easy pass for Everett, an opportunity to collect another handful of World Championship points. Meanwhile, up front, Talon Boland continues to lead the race, much to the delight of Guido Becchius, who's standing by with Art Ekman.
Talon's running a wonderful race out there.
Yeah, I hope so. He thinks he's excited because he's riding U.S., so he want to win in front of this crowd, you know. And I think we have some good opportunity to win today. I hope so.
I noticed his pit board was reminding him of the extra buck.
Yeah, I think he can help him to win today, you know. Maybe we can grow a little bit up the money, so we'll be sure he win today.
A lot of smiles in the Boland camp. And I would think the Albertine advocates are pretty happy with what's going on as well. Number 1 has moved to 4th, having flipped to 8th after that early race miscue. He is all over Jeff Stanton, and in exactly the same spot where Everett's got around Stanton, here comes the world champion. He cannot afford to let Everett lead him in this second moto. He needs to be in front of Everett to collect the points.
Yeah, all the points you can possibly get. I mean, you know, I've won championships by 2 points, 1 point, 3 points. I mean, that's what it can come down to. He needs all that he can get. And I'm really surprised at Stanton. It looks like he just let him by. And maybe he doesn't want to get involved in a battle that doesn't really have anything to do with him or not. I don't know, but he just definitely dropped off the pace.
We'll be right back at Bud's Creek.